Welcome back to another episode of 99.9%. I am Samantha Page, and today we have Kaden, a student at Leon High School. She started a Black student organization at her school, and being from Tallahassee and being a Childs High School alumni, I admire her so much for creating this organization at my big age. And I can definitely learn from her so much. So here's Kaden. How are you?
Hi, okay. I'm doing really good today. I'm just like a little tired.
What are your school like? Is your school virtual or in person?
They're doing both, but I'm doing in person this year,
Hmm.
which is not ideal for me, but
Is it like different than before? How is it? How's it?
so basically this year we have a block schedule and we've never done block schedule before at Leon. So
Mhm.
we have red days, which are periods 1, 3, and 5, and then white days, which are periods 2, 4, and 6. I personally prefer the red days, even though they're most stressful, but I just like the teachers.
Is it? Yeah, I was gonna ask. Is it because of your teachers or
Mhm.
anything? What classes are you taking on those days?
So red days, I have U.S. History Honors, AP Lang, and AP Capstone Seminar.
Oh, this is my capstone class. Okay, so I contacted you because you started a Black Student Union. Is that what it's called? Or
It was, and then we kind of had to change the name because of some like issues among the white people.
okay, so how did it start? How did you deal with the backlash? Tell me all the details.
Okay, so back in May, we all know the tragic passing, the murder actually of George Floyd. And I was like, okay, well, I have to do something because I'm just like proactive like that.
Mhm.
And I contacted one of my favorite teachers, my theater teacher. Her name is Mrs. Marshall. And she was like, yeah, you can totally start a club. So I was like, okay, well, like, let's get the ball rolling. So we had a meeting with some Leon alumni, Landon Coles, Kelsey Gilmore, people like that. And we talked about how Leon can do a better job of like inclusion and stuff like that. And so I was like, well, we should start a Black student union. So
Mhm.
I wrote up a constitution, I didn't have a mission statement, but I did write up a constitution. And then I was like, you know what, I can't do this by myself. So I went and like found some help, like some other people who helped me. And so we have a co-president and a vice president. They're super duper awesome. But some of the backlash we faced was like I just said, like our sponsor, we have co-sponsors. So one of them is white and the other one is she's Hispanic. And Mrs. Fabrica, she was like, well, I think this is a great idea, but Black Student Union sounds like it's only for Black people, you know?
Mhm.
And so we changed it to Black Students in Alliance with Leon. And I don't like that name, but we're going to keep it pushing because it still got approved. So
Hey,
that's
I mean, so what has Black Student Alliance with Leon? What has the group started? Have you guys done anything?
We haven't done anything yet. We're gonna have a interest meeting pretty soon. We do have events planned though. So we have like for Black History Month, instead of like doing a one and done assembly, we're basically gonna like have like mini events throughout the month because we can't even have an assembly because we're in the middle of this pandemic.
Mhm.
So, but we are like we're doing a virtual assembly,
Mhm.
and I'm the student rep for the Black Student Assembly, Black History Assembly. So that ought to be super fun.
I know in high school we had Black History, what's the word I'm looking for? You literally just said it, assembly. I know
Mhm.
we had Black student like assemblies in high school, and they weren't necessarily paid attention to from like
Yeah.
my peers. So is that like something that you fear would happen? You don't think you're gonna get your word out since it is gonna be virtual and not in person?
Yes. Because when it was in person, at least it was mandatory for them to show up. But
Mhm.
because it's virtual, it's like gonna be a link to a video sent out and you have the option to watch it or not. So I'm hoping one way that I want to like combat this is like incorporating some like really popular preppy kids. That way they kind of like spread the word to get more of their friends to watch it who necessarily wouldn't watch it if they weren't in it.
Mhm. So when it comes to like what's the mission? What's the mission of this group?
The mission is to basically to spread awareness about Black culture, about Black people, and to make sure that like white people, well, not just white people, but like non-people of color white people, have like an open space where they can like ask genuine but not insolent questions about whatever they're questioning or concerned about. Because I feel like a lot of times, or at least my white friends, they think that like if they ask me a question like, "Oh, can I do this?" I'm gonna like get mad at them. But
Mhm.
that's not what we want. We want to like build a relationship between people of color and non-people of color.
Definitely. I think that's important, especially
Yeah.
in Leon County, because I know that Leon County is one of the most segregated counties in Florida.
Hmm.
And I'm going to share a little bit of my experience. I go to Valdosta State University,
Hmm.
which is a PWI. And honestly, the culture shock from going from Deer Lake Middle School, Childs High School, then to South Georgia, and you see so many different Black people and different types of Black people. And you, as a Black person who go to predominantly white schools, you also have this stigma that you have with other Black people. Like,
Yeah.
you don't really see other people's stories, you don't hear other people's stories. So when you reached out to me and you told me that you were creating a alliance is what you would say, within Leon County in a school, I was blown away. I was like, this is insane because this was something that my friends and I wanted to do, but we were shut down.
Yeah.
So
Um. Yeah.
like how was the process of that? Was it like everyone on board automatically or
No, actually, like I feel like there's still people that aren't on board at all because it is Leon and we are very like accepting of different viewpoints. But I think for me, I don't really like, I mean, I care about what other students think, like what white students think, but this is also at the end of the day mainly for Black people. Like I know I said it's to like build a relationship between non people of color and people of color, but it's also just for like Black people to like be able to meet other Black people and like feel good about their race and their culture and not feel like they have to assimilate into what's popular or what's white.
so would you think that's what keeps you pushing?
Definitely that, and like just knowing that at the end of the day this is for something. If you hear my brothers in the background, I am so
It's
sorry.
okay.
But like just knowing that like this is like essentially my theater teacher said that like this could be like a part of a bigger picture, which is like legacy involving, because there's like that quote that like legacy is the seeds that you plant but like don't get to see sprout or something like that.
Mhm.
If something like that, I cannot remember the exact quote, but she said that's what this is, because she said you're gonna help so many different people. um and that's kind of what keeps me pushing, like 'cause I love helping people.
Mhm. So do you think in the future,
Hmm.
what do you think would be next for the group itself? Like what goals do you guys have for this group?
I was just thinking about that. Honestly, I think that like maybe starting something within Leon County itself and not just Leon High School. So
Mhm.
like maybe trying to reach out to other high schools to start, you know, BSALs or even BSUs. Because I know like a high school like Ricker Godby, they're not gonna have a problem with the name. Black Student Union is gonna go because it's Rickers and Godby. So I feel like that's like a really big goal of like contacting Rocky Hanna if he's still the superintendent, and figuring out like how we can start at the county level as well once we become established at like the school level.
Mhm. I think to start, again, I would like start having your name like big on campus, of course,
Hmm.
and then start reaching out to some of the political figures in Tallahassee
Oh
since we
yeah.
are the capital of Florida.
Yes.
If you reach out to some of the political figures, I'm pretty sure they would definitely be on board and even sponsor. So I would
Mm.
definitely look into that.
I was
Uh,
not even thinking about that. Oh my gosh.
girl, you need to talk, you need to start networking, like seriously, because I think it's
Yes.
a really good idea to start um bringing different cultures together. My best friend and I were literally just talking about that on the phone. We were saying if different cultures were to come together, we would be so powerful. And I think
Yeah.
what you're doing is just the start of that in Leon County, and then it can go to the state of Florida, like who knows? So definitely keep pushing.
Definitely. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we got to do that soon too. Oh my gosh. I just got so many different ideas. Okay, thank you for that. Oh
You're
wow.
welcome. And I know you said that you are a junior.
Mhm.
So what goals do you have for yourself? What's next for Kaden?
What is next for Kaden? Well, first, gotta graduate. You know, that's always to do. Get that diploma. But I think I had like low key a life crisis because for the longest, I thought I wanted to be like in the medical field and like work with children and stuff like that. But now, I think I kind of want to be like an English major, which is the weirdest thing
Why
because
is
I'm
that?
Googling and I really like analyzing stuff and like for some reason writing rhetorical analysis. If you ever had to write one,
Ooh, it's been a while.
yeah, they're like super hard to do, but I find it fun. So I think that's like a long term goal is to be an English major and like graduate, get my diploma, become a doc. These are great questions. Um, Maybe like become an English professor and like teach around the world.
Hmm.
And that like that way I can kind of like cross two things off my bucket list, which is like become a professor, like get my doctorate and then like go around the world. So
You know what's crazy?
what's up?
My dream job, my dream goal after I graduate is to become a travel journalist.
For real?
No, seriously.
Oh my gosh.
So
Where do
I
you want to go
completely
first?
understand. Um, I've always said when I was little, because I watched the Cheetah Girls too, I wanted
Oh
to
my gosh.
go to Spain
Oh
first.
my god.
I wanted to go to Spain first, and then probably hop around Europe and,
Hmm.
my ways around. But I think what you're doing is great, and your goals are definitely straight on. This is a short episode, but that's fine. And I thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Thank you so much. You have a nice one. I'm gonna
You too.